We landed. We didn't talk about this because in between San Francisco, which was our last show, and now we flew in from San Francisco to LAX, and it was like the airport was deserted because the protests had just started, and we spent like 5.5 hours. Jeff was there longer. Church showed up to take pictures, but we were just there in the midst of this historical thing. I'd never been at a protest. I thought it was like. I mean, it was amazing. I hate to sound like some weird tourist, but that's literally what we were. We had luggage, and Jeff had his Vivienne Westwood suits over his shoulder, and his newsy cap, and his fancy jacket, and he kept like he was able to just go up to the cops and find out what's going on, like hey, what's going on? And they're like, just protecting people's right to free speech, you know. And it was a very there was a
moment after you guys left. We had an agreement with the police that we were like, when we got there, we were blocking all of the traffic. When we got to probably 6 hours after it started, we got there like around 5 or 6 o'clock. It had been going on all day, and we were blocking everything. And then finally, the police came in giant force. All these cops came, and if you follow Church on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, she's amazing photos of it. All these cops came, and. Then the
cops came from the direction that we weren't facing, so you can very quickly go from texting, tweeting about how you're at a protest and you're so cool because you're at a protest. They're like, looks like people are protesting and they're chanting, and here I am. I'm just 60 minutes back here. I'm just and then there's lights flashing because it's a concourse, and then everyone turns around, and you're like, everyone's facing my direction now. Okay, phone away, and just staring at riot shields like 6 feet away, and then doing a double take and realizing the guy next to me is wearing a football helmet and homemade. I took a picture with him and tweeted it, but it was like, I did a double take, and that guy was like, hey, hi, and he's like, hey, I love Rick and Morty. And it was just like, holy fuck.
That guy with the homemade gas mask and the whole thing was a Rick and Morty fan?
Yeah, there were a lot of Rick and Morty fans.
Why was it homemade? Why has he got a homemade?
Well, it was a football helmet.
He had like a lacrosse helmet on with a Home Depot.
And he had a riot shield,
like sawdust
no.
mask.
He had a gas mask, like a kind of a. It was a mask. I think you get at Home Depot for painting. I think if you work in like painting.
These are our police.
No, this was another guy that was protesting.
Why has he got a thing on his face?
He's anticipating activity that may involve him breathing tear gas or getting hit with a baton.
How did you understand that he complimented you if he had a gas mask on?
That was my joke, because it was very muffled. I love Rick and Morty.
So he didn't say it?
He did! It's a popular show.
He might have said,
I'm not saying it isn't.
He might have said it's 7:40.
Most of the people were like, where's season 3? I was like, get back to protecting democracy for... It was insane. I was like, that was the only thing that calmed me, is that these kids are fucking like really into my cartoon. I'm like I don't know how to tell them. My heart is pounding in my chest. I'm relocating my phone to different pockets. I'm like, I think there's a bottle cap down here. Could that cut my arterial arteries, which are the best kind of arteries? The classic arterial artery. It says the new arterial artery. It's arterial. All right. Don't use a venal artery.
You were looking for a bottle cap in your pocket?
I was like struggling. I'm freaking out because I'm thinking I'm going to get arrested for the first time. I'm going to get manhandled by people that aren't my family for the first time. I'm gonna get like pepper sprayed. I've had to pee for 4 hours. I'm going straight to BuzzFeed or something. I was like, I'm gonna have piss down my leg as I'm like loaded like a Lincoln log into a paddy wagon. But the other kids were just like, when's season 3 coming out? Like, so I was like, well, I don't think they're very
When
scared.
is season 3 coming out? I mean, you gotta have a date and time.
I think it's time for the season 3 Rick and Morty update wrap.
Here, you want to wrap? Hang on a second. Give me a second.
How have you been, Dan?
Talk about things.
How have you been, Dan? I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been good. What's going on?
They're drawing it. They're drawing it. They're drawing it.
Here's how cartoons work.
First you write them.
Then you draw them. For a really long time.
Everything needs to be on paper.
So you can see it.
So if all I do is write it and then put it on TV,
it'll look like a script.
instead of Rick and Morty, which you seem to like.
So, when you ask me where it is, the answer is...
They're drawing it.
And when you tell me to stop being political and get back to drawing it...
I don't draw it. I know it looks like I do. That's called style. Those artists are still actually talented and went to school. If I literally drew it, the show wouldn't exist. It would be, it would just be Pacman fighting Garfield. Those are the only things I know how to draw. They would be illegal. Unlike our blatant Back to the Future ripoff.
They're drawing it. And they'll be drawing it until they're done drawing it, and then...
Adult Swim will choose when to air it. Not me, because I don't own a network. It's called TV. The T is for television. V is for very much not my decision. When to air things. Because remember how you learned who I am? I'm the guy who writes and produces things that end up
not on TV a lot because I don't control whether things are on TV or not. If I did, we'd be in season 9 of Community, and it would be 48 episodes a year, and there would also just be shows about me taking a
shit.
I would be at every show. I would, because I'm gonna stop when you say stop. I'm gonna fuck your mama like the head of a mop. A hip hop to the hip hop, a hop.
One day Superman came down.
He said,
I'm Superman, so comparatively you're a clown.
I said, ha 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 ha. Superman got his woofers and tweeters out. I said, motherfucker, democracy is gonna shout with your titties out. A roundabout. I got the gout.
Superman ate too much rich food. Heavy creams and sauces. He thought he was impervious to them because he's Superman. A lot of people don't know. Totally normal internal digestive system. He can succumb to things like gout. A lot of people say gout is Superman's kryptonite.
From a strictly dietary standpoint. However, gout can never actually kill him. He can, because he's
Shroud's on his phone. He's fucking shut up.
Anyways,
they're drawing it.
They're drawing it. And while they're drawing it, I'm making a million things, and they take a long time to make. And Spencer's fucking killing it on Harmon Quest Season 2. Straight up, like I if I thought for a second that it was like there was a little bit of it that was going to be bad, I wouldn't set him up by saying that. It was like totally his show. He's like running it. I showed up. I played D&D, and he's fucking like him and his huge team of awesome people that worked on Season 1. I saw that. It's just amazing. I'm so excited about Harmon Quest. I'm not saying there's nothing. Don't let that show up in an article where it's like, here's why Rick and Morty's late. Dan's excited about Harmon Quest. It's not related. They're drawing it. They have to draw the things. I will say and did say the reason it was late, the reason they got a late start drawing it is because I am fucking slow and shitty and unpredictable as a writer. The buck stops here with that. I'm done with that part. You can't now tell me to go faster. It doesn't make any sense. I confessed to my crimes after it was too late to make me change.
You're yelling at the audience. You're yelling at them.